There's been a lot of talk about a type gimmick for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, all bullshit of course. It's not a leak, it's not fun speculation, it's a lie. That's all it is. It only exists so bad actors can exploit children for profit. But unfortunately, the current state of YouTube overwhelmingly rewards frauds and fraudulent content, and then there's just going to be a lot of spin-offs off of that to get attention from just nonsense that's going viral, so this title infuriated me. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's rumored type gimmick would be a logical progression. No, the type gimmick is stupid, but also just like everything about the title is amiss. It's not a rumor. It's a lie. It's a fake leak. It has no validity, no credibility whatsoever, but here we are. And it's always funny how with the new Pokemon games that we have to wait until the Pokemon game is announced, and then there has to be like something from the trailer, and then that's where all the leaks start coming out. Remember like the armored forms with Pokemon Sword and Shield? Oh, we need the confirmation of a UK region before frauds like Adry and Poketips picked up a completely fake thing, and then called it a leak so they can make money. Huh, and it's happening again. There's like the little type symbols in the town. It's like, well, third typing, or whatever. And you also can't call it fun speculation to lie about a fake leak that isn't even close to a rumor either, because where's the discussion? These discussions didn't happen before. It only exists to exploit people's anticipation about a major upcoming Pokemon game, and as we saw with Pokemon Legends Arceus, there's no leakers right now. Ku, Ball Guy, Central Pokemon, they all got massively exposed as frauds, but then I guess at the same time, like, it's not all on them because the idiots will still follow and buy into it, even though people covering the leaks have been wrong almost 100%. We had the Affleck leaks, we had the Pokemon Let's Go leaks, and then there were multiple for Pokemon Sun and Moon, but after what happened with Pokemon Sun and Moon, the leaks definitely got cracked down on a lot more from the source, and that's it. And yet there's been like thousands of fake leaks covered since then. I don't know why people keep buying into the bullshit, but let's talk about this, because like the article is praising something that, even if true, is just garbage for Pokemon. Rumors say, lie, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet will try something new with Pokemon types, and history provides some evidence for that. One rumor may have already shed light on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's special feature. According to one well-known liar, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet will now allow players to temporarily add a third type to their Pokemon, opening up doors for all kinds of weakness and resistance rearrangements. And that's why it is the most garbage feature. Because Pokemon is really well understood and works as is. Being able to randomly just throw in an extra type does nothing beneficial to the game, because now you're dealing with so much extra factors that it becomes completely unenjoyable. The problem is, type matchups and the type charts are already a massive barrier to entry, not just for competitive Pokemon, but casual and even like semi-serious Pokemon battles. You gotta remember, Pokemon is a kid's game. If you add another dimension to all the type interactions, it doesn't just become impossible for like the top players who can already have like issues with some of the type matchups as is. It just becomes incoherent at all levels of play. And also, that kind of like goes into another thing where like, how are the devs going to balance this? The devs would struggle to balance just a few like new gimmicky Pokemon potentially having like a third typing, which wouldn't happen anyways, because then that like just breaks the paradigm Pokemon. So this goes against like all game balance and design philosophies, but it would be impossible to balance 17 different types with another 16 combinations, adding another one on top of that for all the Pokemon that already exist. Like, it would take even just like the community coming together to theorize what the craziest like triple typing would be, and then like trying to balance that out against all the other triple typings, and then trying to figure out, let alone like the devs factoring in for all of this, and then wondering what happens if you like slap Ghost type onto Scizor or something. And then the more you think about it, the more nonsensical it gets. Like, what happens with triple stab? Some Pokemon are just going to be completely unstoppable, and it doesn't matter what your response, gimmick, additional type is to that Pokemon. Some Pokemon, if they just like get an extra same type attack boosted move on an existing moveset that never planned to have like a 120 base power move, suddenly grab stab. Like, you just slap fighting onto something, and now that close combat on a Pokemon that just had it as a neutral hit, then gets stab, and it has like all the other benefits and crazy stuff going on. Yeah, we saw like normal Ghost being a wacky typing because of the way it was introduced with Hisui and Zoroark. So we're just like starting to finish off the existing type combinations in Pokemon. That's not an excuse to be like, okay, cool, so now that means we're free to just do whatever. Or there's probably some kind of obscure tank Pokemon typing where if you slap in a third type onto it, it becomes practically immune while already being a really good stall Pokemon. It's impossible to account for and balance. And then idiots are like, but why else would they have the ring of types in the city? It makes sense. Or what happened was the person that was intending on making a fake leak because that's popular, because their lives are worthless, they got nothing going for them, so the only way they can get attention is by making up something. Even if anonymous, they know they're the ones that did it, and they get like all the feel good from all that happening. Like they see this too and go, oh, well, yeah, this is just going to bait idiots. Much like with the lies about the armored forms for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Wait, you're telling me a region based off the UK with Pokemon Sword and Shield could have some kind of armored evolutions or armored forms for their Pokemon? Wait, why did it take until the game being revealed and all that information being known for this fake leak to come out and then idiots to push it for attention? I mean, if we're just talking about the lore, world building, and development of the Pokemon world, which has been incredible over the last decade, this makes sense. This is you go into a Pokemon town and they're going to have things that represent how Pokemon is in their world because, like we saw with Pokemon Sword and Shield, the entire region, everything is just a celebration of Pokemon battles, so why not continue that in the new Pokemon game? But let's see what this article has to say. Such a mechanic would definitely require careful balancing from Game Freak. You acknowledge that, but you dare to continue. Oh yeah. 4,000 different type combinations with over 1,000 Pokemon. That's definitely balanceable. Okay, but conceptually, it seems like the logical next step for the franchise to take. What, making it incoherent and complete trash? That doesn't sound logical at all. The last several Pokemon gimmicks have all reshaped key traits of Pokemon in major ways, and since Pokemon types haven't been experimented yet, they're probably next in line. That is not how reasoning, logic, and application of comprehension skills works. But now we can see where it is, and I don't understand why. Like, this is just what we see from journalism and games journalism and all of these just baity, stupid articles in general, where just, you make a stupid premise and it's going to get clicks for one reason or another. More people want to, like, get their confirmation bias backed up about, like, these fake leaks, so they'll click on it and see what someone has to say. A lot of people be like, no, this is actually horrible. Or someone that's outside of Pokemon be like, wait, what do you mean a rumored type gimmick? Ooh, let me learn more, even though it's all fake and garbage. So I don't even know if the writer of the article even cares about the contents of this article. They're just farting something out so they can make rent. Or like, is this some kind of justification where, like, they want to believe in it too, or they want to kind of, like, get a part of all this virality, so they're trying to rationalize it in a way to them that makes sense, even though it's just complete nonsense. And then, like, this is just the padding of the article. But we had Pokemon XY Mega Evolutions, which ended up changing the types of some of the Pokemon, so the idea that types haven't been experimented with is a lie. And that's actually, like, the thing about the types. Like, Pokemon Mega Evolution, you do it on the fly, and that Pokemon's type changes. Now, it is to a known type, but that's actually balanceable. So, the type altering of Mega Evolution then taken to an unbalanceable, incalculable degree with all those interactions. And then they talk about Z moves, duh, and then they talk about Dynamax. Yes, we know how Pokemon gimmicks work. This still doesn't make any sense on how, oh yeah, the types, adding an extra type, which makes no sense, is definitely the next logical step. Man, we just need to ban games journalism, don't we? Or not even games journalism. Like, if real journalism still existed, that would be cool. But we need to outlaw whatever this garbage is. So players can Dynamax their teammates. While Gigantamaxing is an interesting concept, its introduction means Pokemon Scarlet and Violet can hardly rely on combining old gimmicks again. Why not? I guess there were, like, the weird aspects where it's like, yeah, the Dynamaxing was like having Z moves for several turns, and Gigantamaxing was similar to the different forms of Pokemon getting a Mega Evolution, but why can't we have something else happen? As for the gimmick, it's unpredictable. No one could have predicted Dynamax or even Z moves or Mega. Like, Mega Evolution was kind of on the table because people wanted, like, a fourth stage for a Pokemon or some kind of altered forms and throwing that in battle, that's actually pretty cool. And honestly, the way that this is being described, it's like upping the ante. It's like, oh, well, the only course for Game Freak is to make a new, crazier, bigger, more novel thing. Well, actually, that seems like a very bad way of going about this. That dialing it back to something more logical, actually like a reasonable, not a reasonable step forward, but something reasonable for Pokemon gimmicks in general, is the play. And as we've talked about, adding a third typing is just impossible. Although plenty of past moves in Pokemon have allowed players to mess with Pokemon types, there's never been a consistent way to make any given Pokemon have 3 types at the same time. As entirely uncharted territory, the 3-type gimmick has a lot of potential to make it feel special. No, it would just make it feel like the most tedious, obnoxious Pokemon game that's completely unplayable. Scarlet and Violet likely won't just feature wild Pokemon with 3 types though. Instead, Pokemon history suggests that players will once again get a special item that allows them to temporarily modify a Pokemon's characteristics in battle for a few turns. No, there's no history to suggest that'll happen with types. Even if you think about it, like, that's a complete UI and development nightmare. Is there just going to be like, oh, you get an item for every single type that you equip to the Pokemon, and then like you press a button and activate it, so it has to be done before the battle? Or is it you get to actively respond during the battle, in which case, like, what, you press a button and then you just get like a huge pop-up with 17 buttons to click? Oh, that's awful. It doesn't work. And does it happen, like, before the battle, where it's like, oh yeah, this Pokemon's going to get the thing, or does it happen during the battle, during the middle of a turn, like with Mega Evolution, in which case, like, yeah, like, you just break everything about how Pokemon plays from there. Whether players need to collect held items for its purpose, or whether they can change types at will, remains to be seen. The way this batshit idea I made up will work remains to be seen. Now, the furthest I could see this going is the legendary Pokemon having 3 types. That's it. Like, not a crazy expansion, and still no verification or validation of the leaks to predict, like, Pokemon jumping the shark in this kind of way, because there have been jump sharks, both good and bad, throughout many of the main series games. Yeah, like, that's about as far as I see it going, to a reasonable way. And the types would have to be very specifically done, or, since they are the legendary Pokemon, it is a restricted Pokemon, so you could have a bit more freedom, because we've seen some ludicrous restricted Pokemon come out for like competitive play and integrity and stuff like that. Like old Darkrai before the nerfs. Nah, man, you can't let that happen. This plausible God, yo. You can't just lie about something until it becomes plausible. However, the Pokemon community has become so toxic, deranged, and anti-fact that I guess this is a strategy that works here. We've seen it with, you know, all the fake leaks that get publicity, and then people actually believing that WolfClick is not a cheater, even though the maker of Pika Hex, the maker of the hack, has confirmed WolfClick is a cheater that uses hacked Pokemon, and it already happened many times before then. And then even going into Minecraft with the whole Dream Stan thing. So, like, yeah, I guess in today's day and age, where a majority of the people on the internet are just a gullible idiot, you can just make something up until you call it plausible, and then people will be on your side about it. A Pokemon that takes 8 times the damage from an incoming attack due to a 3-way type disadvantage is extraordinarily vulnerable, no matter how high its level is. I mean, like, 4x is already a death sentence, except for, like, a max hit point, max defense something, you know? Yeah, like, a non-stab Fire Punch onto a Fortress, or a Ferrothorn. That's about as far as you can get. A Pokemon... Yeah, so, at the same time, certain 3-type combos can completely erase a Pokemon's weakness. Why does that link somewhere? What does this have to do with triple typing? What does this have to do with triple typing? I guess because, like, unreleased... I don't know. Game Freak would have to explore some ways to keep the 3-type gimmick in check. There's no some ways to keep that in check. But that means each Pokemon can only gain certain types? Yes. Because what you have to do is you have to run every single Pokemon and every single type calculation matchup just to make this like new gimmick that would be like, oh, you can just splash in type on a Pokemon, overly restrictive because it turns out, oh, some type combinations are way too busted to allow. Yeah, because a kid is going to understand why they can't slap on whatever typing onto whatever Pokemon to make it work, regardless of whether Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, so it's like, I'm lying. I'm calling it plausible. I'm making up nonsense. But regardless if this happens, the spirit of the concept shows a good direction. No. No! Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's gimmick needs to try something that no other Pokemon game has tried. I mean, like, how every new Pokemon game ends up with a gimmick that no other game has tried that usually ends up successful. Just so happens that Pokemon types haven't been the source of major experimentation yet. No. Meaning that it's the perfect angle. Thankfully, the wait for information about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's key mechanic shouldn't be too long. Games have been revealed. Next trailer will show off gameplay. Something. I hate everything.